Hey guys, welcome back into one, what are we? One for the road. Welcome back into one for the road. I'm not even going to edit it, that's all good. We're just giving you a run through for anyone that's new or whatever, or just an update anyway. My name's Jeremy, this is Jill, and with our two young kids, Jed and Zakiah, and our pups, which keep growing by the minute. Yeah, we just pretty much bought this bus for peanuts while we were living in New Zealand for about $7.5 grand. We've dropped a fair bit into it. It's almost finished, but yeah, pretty much just no frills channel, all pretty honest, and what you see is what you get. Yeah, pretty much this is our little bus. We've done everything to it ourselves. We've got heaps of videos leading up to now anyway, if you want to go back there and see all that stuff. Otherwise, yeah, welcome in again, and we got a fair bit on, so we'll catch us up real quick.
Don't we have a story for you?
Probably can't hear anything because it's a window, but yeah, it's all been happening. We're finally on the road, but let's take you through what actually happened. Whew. So yeah, last night I was doing a Christmas carol sing, a not so silent night in Longreach. And then the plan was to get a few Ks out of the way last night while the weather was a bit cooler. And we got 10 minutes into the journey and sounded like a belt, alternator belt or something or other was squawking, squealing on its way out and whatnot. So worked on it all night till about 11 o'clock. Harry and Michael at Ilfracombe Motors, and yeah, by the time we got to where we needed to be with it, realised that the belts that we had on hand in the shed were a bit too long. So I got up early this morning and went back into Longreach and got the right size belt, so that was fitted this morning and finally hit the road. But yeah, there's been a few bits and pieces go on. We had the patrol with us out there, but done the clutch and gearbox and all sorts of things on that, so that's getting fixed at the moment. So I'll be we're scooting back to southeast Queensland now, but I'll probably fly back out in the next week or so and pick up the patrol and drive it back. So it's in the bus about 15 hours from out here to back where we're based. So yeah, all that jazz. Got my license 3 days ago for this thing, so that was pretty handy as well. But yeah, just had a lot go on. Not a lot right has happened. We've got the dogs are still, yeah, they're all happy. Yeah, but anyway, we're just at Barcaldine at the moment. Jilly's just gone in to get some fruit and some water bottles and that, because the old bus hasn't got air con while we're driving. So anyway, what's going on?
Nothing. I don't know.
No. Well, one of them's slipping. We'll get to that later. We're not going to show you just yet, mate, so you just be quiet and wait patiently. How good's all this when you're like doing stuff in the bus and you got to put these puppy pads everywhere so it doesn't shit on your engine mount for, or whatever you want to call this thing, engine casing, blah blah blah, for the 8th time in a week. But it's looking good. Looks like a little dentist. Anyway, don't take any notice of that dog because it doesn't exist just yet. Alright, so I'm going to try again because I got a bat flattery on the old Goey, even though it was sitting at like 70%, and then it just went low battery, shut off. But anyway, here we are. So I'll give you a quick run through of what went on, and then after that I'll give you a little look because I'm currently just plugged into the wall. So you can see two belts here, which I'll show you in a second, but you can see two belts here. We don't have the aircon running anymore. So, yeah, pretty much we didn't need the aircon belt, which I was told. So pretty much I had like 10 rums and then come in with me old timer pocket knife and just cut the belt, which was pretty sensible at the time. Then the one in front of it, when we started the bus again, start whistling and all that, so we thought the one in front of it was carrying on a bit, so we needed to get that replaced because the temperature gauge was playing up slightly. Didn't cook or anything, but I just didn't like that it was moving at all, to be honest with you. And then it stopped squealing, temperature come down, so on and so on. Had a look at it. The belt looked good as gold, reasonably new. And then, anyway, replaced it for a brand new one. And then started the drive from Ilfracombe to Longreach, as I had a Christmas carolsy sort of do in the park at Longreach, which was awesome, by the way. On that drive, it started overheating and whatnot, and I was like, oh, you're kidding me, new belt, blah, blah, blah. All that got replaced. Then we were leaving, and we pulled in to grab a jack in case the tyres on the trailer went, as we pulled into the mechanic's place where, cause the patrol gearbox blew up while we were out there. It's just been awesome. So we pulled in there to grab the jack out of the patrol while the gearbox and clutch and all this stuff was getting done. Got that. Bus didn't sound right. Long story short, jumped in to have a look at it and realised there was actually a third belt up underneath here, and that was the problem child. The two belts at the front we didn't even need because they are both related to the aircon. So they both, I'd already cut one, and the second one got removed because we didn't need that. It was just more stuff in there. And then it was just a bit of a pain to get up into there. Couldn't get the right size belt, so then had to wake up at 5 or 6 the next morning, scooted in there, got what I thought was the right size belt, 3 of them either side of the right one that I thought, and then they were all the wrong size too. Comedy of errors. Got that, finally got the right one on, put it on. Bus is running like an absolute dream. Touch something that resembles wood. And drove all the way back from Longreach back to southeast Queensland without a hitch. It was awesome. The old bus is running top notch. That's pretty much it. That's all I've got for you. That's the update on our little bus troubles. Alright, so that's belt 1. That's the pulley for belt 1. That's the pulley for belt 2. We don't have either of them anymore. And there's a belt up, you can't really see it because it's so dark, up in behind here, in that way. You actually get to it through that casing there is where you access it. So it is a bit tricky, but pretty much for driving purposes, that belt up under there is the only one you need. These two here, I believe, are for aircons and whatnot. We don't have that anymore. We got the split system up the back, which is all hooked up and running like a dream. But anyway, that was our problem. Just thought I'd give you a little look-see. Alright, so we've got this little dude here. He's a little short-haired collie, and when he's not running around causing havoc, he has his little snoozes, don't you, buddy? Hey? Anyway, his name's Kylo. Jedi named him after Kylo Ren, his favourite little Star Wars character, so that's always good. We'll introduce him over the next couple of weeks. He's just a little dude that we were silly enough to include to our already tight space. But we love dogs, we love animals, we love everything. So people call us silly and we just agree. So that's all good. Anyway, so while we're out in central West Queensland, so Longreach and so on, Winton, whatnot, the main reason we went out there is I had a couple of gigs on. The main one was the Flyers Ball, so the Royal Flying Doctors Ball, which I believe I just seen yesterday that the Legends raised $60,000 on the night of the ball, so that's so bloody good. It was an absolute pleasure and privilege to be a part of that, so I'm just going to put up a few little clips. I just recorded on the phone, spur of the moment sort of thing, but this is our night out at the Flyers Ball in Longreach. It was bloody good fun. I had an absolute ball doing it. The band was on fire. Thanks, fellas, for coming all the way out, flying from Brizzy all the way out to Longreach. We did a bit of a weekend there. We did Winton, Longreach and Ilfracombe. The boys flew in and out in the 3 days. We smashed out 3 awesome shows. It was so good. Other than that, I got up to a bit of property work, learned a fair bit out there in the short time I was there. I was on a property just north of Ilfracombe. Had an absolute ball, learnt plenty about sheep with landmarking and mustering and all that sort of stuff. Both Shane and Reese looked after me bloody awesome. I had a ball out there. I just, again, got a couple of snippets on the phone. It's not going to look amazing, but I'll chuck yous over now and you can have a little look at what I got up to there. A few different things on the bikes and whatnot. So this morning is my first go at landmarking, which will be pretty incredible, but the weather's perfect. How nice is that? Oh, I don't know what's ahead of me though. Hey little fella. Come on guys, up we get. Having a good old time. Got me a little mate. And a handful from the back. Out cruising in a bigger paddock now. Trying to chase a few up. Heaps of feed around there, happy looking sheepies. They're here, we got them in. Psst.
Good boy, Kiwi. Come here. Good boy. Good boy. You got all the babies.
So as you can see, got up to plenty out there. Also managed to bring back a wee bike for the kids. So they've been ripping around out the backyard here all day today. We just got home literally about 4 or 5 hours ago and the kids have just been friggin' non-stop on this thing. I've already given it a second tank of fuel, but I'll chuck up a few clips. Again, super prepared, but on the phone from earlier this afternoon where they're just ripping around having a ball. But so anyway, we bolted back to southeast Queensland from Central West, and pretty much we've got a massive weekend ahead. So we're about to pack right now. We fly out early tomorrow morning. So yeah, we're going on a little surprise trip. Jilly's pretty keen. We won't let too much go just yet, but we'll see you next week, eh? And looking forward to getting stuck back into YouTube. We have missed it. We just haven't had the time, which is a poor excuse. So we're going to be all over it from now on. So we'll see you next week.
See ya.